conquista tutto. L'amore conquista tutto.
Okay, I think we're live. That was a bit of a strange one. Hey, welcome to episode 66 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We've got a little bit of change of plan around what we're doing tonight, but I'll talk about that in a sec. Let's first up welcome my good friend, my co-host from Adelaide. How are you, Braggy?
I'm very good, Curly. Episode 66.
Yeah, that was...
Route 66.
Yeah, roots. Like last week, I was surprised because it was 65, and I didn't mention it was the year of my birth once. So
Yeah,
I thought that
what's going on there?
That was pretty good. And then 66. It's I know a number of people born in 66. So
Yeah,
Route
getting
66, getting your kicks on. So
That's it.
Really good. Hey, so this week, ladies and gentlemen, we were due to have Luke from Maryborough. We've been building him up for the last month.
We have been.
Luke from Maryborough,
the big CO.
Yeah, and he's banned from Maryborough. And two things happened this week. His bass player took off, had to leave Maryborough for work, so scooted off. Must be like a fly-in, fly-out sort of a worker.
Okay.
And then on top of that, Luke's got COVID. So we don't have Ruin Nation with us, and we'll leave that door open so that when they all get themselves back together, we will get them on the show.
The trials and
little bit of
tribulations
news.
of a band, Curly.
Yeah, and Maryborough. So coming out of Maryborough, the trials and tribulations of a band in Maryborough. Yeah. And you'd imagine, and Braggy, you'd know, I mean, coming out of a regional area, it's hard enough being a band in a regional area because the population's less, there's probably less access to playing your music and
Less gigs, so you've got to work, and so obviously this guy, bass player, like you said, he's got to go and earn some money, put food on the table for his family or whatever, so it's tough. It's tough if you're a band in a regional area.
Makes it tough. So hopefully in the coming weeks or months we'll get Ruin Nation on because I'm really keen to have a chat to them and learn a little bit more about their music. So just on the news front, we've got Mick Madu and Ursula. They've pre-released their album. So this is the one thing that I-94 and the Barman do in Sydney. They re-release. They still actually sell CDs and digital downloads. So Mick Madu and Ursula, their album is called Love is Calling. And it's available June 20. So I posted the link on our Facebook page for anyone who was interested. Their single at the moment, which is the title song from the album, Love is Calling, is getting a bit of love up here on 4ZZZ, which is a institution for Australian Brisbane independent music and I guess Australian independent music. So pleasing to see Mick Madu and Ursula have got their album out. And the other little piece of news out of our previous guests, a gentleman called Mick Blood from the Lime Spiders. It looks like his book will become available by mid-June. So,
okay,
yeah. So
we're having a run on old punk rockers bringing out books, aren't we?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, Mazawak recently and Mick Blood. So Mick, you've got if you're looking at getting Mick's book at the moment, he's got a payment avenue through his Facebook page. So if you head to the Lime Spiders Facebook page, no doubt you will find the link. No doubt Mick would have pinned it up the top. I think cost is $40, which includes postage here in Australia. And if you do happen to listen to us from any of the places overseas, and we do get some listeners from the US and Great Britain and South Africa of all places.
That's cool.
The international postage, Mick will give you a quote on. So head on over to the Lime Spiders Facebook page. Now, Braggy, I've lost you, so the internet is obviously playing up down your part of the world.
You can't see me.
Now, when you suggested, when I reached out and said Ruin Nation can't come on, and you suggested, why don't we do this? Let's just choose 3 songs that we're currently listening to
Yep.
and let's share them with each other.
Yeah.
I thought, what a great idea.
And with everybody else. Because I think the one thing that happens to me a lot, Curly, is I hear people my age, and it pisses me off. They say, "Oh, there's no good music around anymore,"
Yeah.
And fair enough. Unless you listening to one of Murdoch's bloody stations like Triple M or something where they just play all those old hits that we all remember.
Yeah.
Most of the other places don't. So they don't have music that you're used to. So, but it's still out there. You just have to go and look for it. It's not on the radio for you like it was when we were young. It comes another song, love it. You got to go and search, and there's so many places to search. So that's why I thought it'd be good. We can maybe some of our listeners who are feeling that there's no good music out there, we can direct them to stuff that
we
they
can
might
share
like.
some of the stuff that is good. Hey, yes, it's something I'm actually looking forward to tonight, Braggy, because when you first mentioned it, my initial thought went to a guy that we actually had on our podcast, and going back to, I think, episode 56, you remember young Blake Catteris,
Yes.
and we spoke about a couple of his individual songs that he's got on Spotify, and they were both like melodic. One was a Duran Duran cover, and another was his own song called, oh my God, What Went Wrong?
Yes.
And so when you first mentioned, let's share some of the music that we're listening to, my first thought was, well, I just love the Molly and... So Blake's got a band called Molly and the Krells.
Yes.
And they do their version of What Went Wrong. And to me, I just think it's such a great little pop song because it's just got that absolute hook of a chorus. And, you get pretty shitty because you used to be pretty and now you're just pretty fucked up. And it's such a great little song.
It's a great line, isn't it?
And it's a great line. It's a great song. So I thought, oh, my God, I'm going to get a chance to play Molly and the Krells. And then my thinking changed completely. So I'm not playing Molly and the Krells.
Talk about build me up, Curly.
No, mate. Sorry. So do you want me to go first?
Yeah, why don't you go first? What are we going to get from Curly? We got, like I said to you before, Curly, we got anything this millennium from you?
Yeah, so that was one of the challenges that Braggy put out to me, right? He said, it's got to be something from this millennium. So, and one of the good things from this podcast for my musical taste anyway is the fact that I am listening to a lot more current music or trying to uncover or discover uncharted music.
And me too,
so,
mate. Me too.
Yeah, and I just think it's awesome. Yeah. So one of the things that popped up on my radar, and this is probably going back last year, is a guy called Jack Botts. And it doesn't have that real rock star ring to it, that name.
No.
Jack
Is
Botts,
that B-O-T-T-S?
Yeah, B-O-T-T-S.
Right.
And he's a... so for long-term listeners, you know that I love my Sunday session, and this guy does a Sunday session like not too many that I heard at the moment. So he's out of the Northern Rivers. He plays a brand of what they call surf folk.
Yep.
And it's just, he's a chippy turned busker, and now he's full time. He's got something like 350,000 monthly listens on Spotify.
Awesome.
So
Does he
he's
have
going
an
all right.
album out?
Yeah, he's got a couple of albums out since 2018. He's released 37 songs,
Awesome.
and all available on Spotify. So
Okay. Well, this is what we want. We want to play a song that our listeners can go, I really like that. I'm going to search that out and go on to Spotify or God forbid, go and buy some vinyl somewhere.
yeah. So this is a song that was the first one I heard from Jack Botts, and it was on one of those like acoustic playlists because I love my acoustic. I love my Sunday session.
You do.
And I remember playing this song when the big fella Browsy came over to my place one time, and him and Carol were sitting there out in the back deck.
And how did he go?
And I said, I'm going to play a song for you, but it's a song where, Stewie, you've got to hold Carol in your arms. And because it's that sort of a song. It's a song called, I'll just make sure I'm on live here before I play it. It's a song called Tattoos, and this is an acoustic version that's available on YouTube. In the acoustic version, he got two versions on Spotify. They're both very similar. One's an acoustic, but this is the acoustic version of Tattoos.
I wanna say that I'm sorry for the week that has been. I guess I'm on edge, just trying to hold it in. 'Cause I've been trying to figure out what it is I feel, and I think I just realized I'm hopelessly in love. So I wrote this just to say that it will get better and it won't be this hard, and I'll be back home laying in your arms, watching you tracing around my tattoos. And I don't have many, but it's all that I've got, and until I've got you, there's nothing else I want. Oh, and there's nothing I can do. There's just a part of loving you. And I remember you and I by the waterside, and I misplaced your eyes with the Vancouver lights. And it felt kind of funny looking up at the planes, pretending they were stars, knowing the next day that was me flying on my way. So I wrote this just to say that it will get better and it won't be this hard, and I'll be back home laying in your arms, watching you tracing around my tattoos. And I don't have many, but it's all that I've got, and until I've got you, there's nothing else I want, and there's nothing I can do. It's just a part of loving you. Hard. I'll be back home, laying in your arms, watching you tracing around my tattoos. And I don't have many, but it's all that I've got. Until I've got you, there's nothing else I want. No. There's nothing I can do. It's just a part of loving you.
How good is that?
Man, that's fucking beautiful.
And
That's a
not
beautiful
quite sure.
song.
So that song came out in 2021, and his girlfriend, who he obviously loves dearly, was in the States, and he was stuck here in Australia.
I figured
so I
that out.
believe there's a bit of meaning there. So
I figure that's you know, it reminds me of like Jack Johnson or
yeah,
Jason
he's got
Mraz.
a great voice, doesn't he?
He's got a great
He's just
voice. It's just that sweet, easily listening voice. So Stewie and Carl didn't realise Stewie had tattoos.
Yeah,
does Carol
well,
does Carol trace Stewie's tattoos?
but it's just that feel of a song, isn't it? You
Yeah,
know?
no, that's a beautiful song, mate. I really like that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely look that up. And you're right, it is just that sound you just had there. It's a perfect background for that.
Sunday session, and
Perfect.
you know, it's certainly one where you just want to grab your missus or your partner and just chill and just let it.
It's a tearjerker
let it wash
almost.
over you.
It's a tearjerker almost. All right, I'm going to go way different. I'm pulling out the big guns.
Yep.
Like it's no bigger. It's no bigger than Robert Plant. Now people are going to say to me, "I thought you were going to play music that you haven't heard before." So obviously people will know Robert Plant was the lead singer of Led Zeppelin. And he had a bit of a solo career afterwards. And in 2007, he teamed up with this country singer named Alison Krauss. She's won, like between them, they've got like 40 Grammy Awards, right?
Wow.
And they made an album that won a Grammy in 2007. It was brilliant. I loved it. It was called Raising Sand. And now they've got another one called Raise the Roof. It just came out last year, 2021. They've teamed up together again. And what they do is they go out of their comfort zones. So she's used to doing the bluegrass country and he's used to doing the rock and roll, and they meet somewhere in between, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But their voices are just so perfect together that it's incredible. So we're going to play a song from them. It's called, what's the song called I've got teed up?
Is it Can't Let Go?
Can't Let Go, which is a cover. Most of these songs on this album are covers, but this, I'm not sure if it won a Grammy this year or not, because it came out late last year. I'll have to check, but the whole album is great, and the musos that are backing these guys are Nashville friggin' pros.
So, and in all honesty, for everyone out there, I have teed up all these songs, but I purposely haven't listened to them because I want to get the listener experience.
That's good. Like I
might have heard some snippets, but part of today's journey is about being awakened to some new stuff.
Yeah.
So this is Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, is it?
He's 73, by the way, and she's 50.
Oh.
Told you, baby, one more time. Don't make me sit all alone and cry. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. I'm like a fish out of water and a cat in a tree. You don't even want to talk to me. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. He won't take me back when I come around. Says he's sorry, then he pulls me out. Got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. See, I got a candle and it burns so bright in my window every night. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. You don't like to see me standing around. Feel like I'd be shot when I didn't fall down. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. He won't take me back when I come around. Says he's sorry, then he pulls me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. Oh, take it out. Turn off the trouble like you turn off the light. When I won't let me, but it just ain't right. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. Around every corner, something I see brings me right back how it used to be. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. It won't take me back when I come around. Says he's sorry, then he pulls me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. He won't take me back when I come around. Says he's sorry, then he pulls me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. It's over. I know it, but I can't let go. It's over. I know it, but I can't let go. It's over. I know it, but I can't let go.
Wow.
What does that
The
sound like?
voices, yeah, that was cool. It's hard not to get a little bit of a jig happening up with something like that. So that was cool. And the voices are right. But can I say, if I can be that sprightly at 73, I think we're
Don't worry
doing
about
okay.
Sprightly. I mean, I don't know. Some of the people listening to it, they're not actually going to see that. You'll see it if you look at our YouTube channel. But his hair, fucking hell, 73, and his fucking hair is unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's why we're both of us wearing beanies, huh?
We're wearing beanies tonight, so we understand that hair is normally we get challenged as we get a little bit old. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I'm glad you
So,
like that. A little bit of
yeah.
Dwight Yoakam, maybe. And I know you're a fan of Dwight.
and you could tell they were Nashville musicians,
Oh.
so yeah,
Yeah, they're good.
gotta love Nashville. All right. So this next guy that I'm going to talk about is a guy called Roy Casina, and
Yep.
this song came out in 2015. So you did say this millennium, so I've tried to honour that.
2015 is good, mate.
So I actually know Roy. So when in my very short time that I worked with the Coles Group, and Roy, I was in a regional role, and Roy was the national logistics manager for fuel. So this guy, that's quite a high-paced, high-pressure job, and when you see Roy on the for those people that are going to watch the video anyway, when you see Roy hasn't changed from those days that I knew him in that particular role. So he's released 2 albums, both available on Spotify. Both came out in 2019. Sentimental Sentinel has got 15 songs on it. Chords of Roy, it's 17 songs. So in the space of a year, he put out 34 songs. So the thing with Roy, obviously he's a prolific songwriter, but his songs just embody. So he's got some little perfect pop songs out there.
Yeah.
And,
I love a perfect pop song.
Yeah, and I think I played one for you last time I was in Adelaide, and he said, geez, that's well produced.
Yeah.
So he looks after what he's got to do. But the song I'm going to play is the latest song that came out in 2015. Roy's had some challenges during COVID, unfortunately, and I've been wanting to get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
But we haven't been successful in doing that as yet. But he's lost some friends during COVID and whatnot, so that's always challenging. So this is a song called B, and it's a great song and an even better film clip.
Where's the money? Where's the answer to your call? How do you lie? When you finally use them all, what do you say? When your baby's ass the future. See through the mirror when it shatters. Live like only you know. Because it's all that really matters. Time's watching you move. Talk like you have nothing to prove. Speak like you'll never be heard. Sing even if you don't know the words. Try until you dry up your tears. Challenge till you run out of fears. I decide if it helps you see. Be like you always wanted to be.
Wow. So, two things I love about that.
Yep.
It's got whistling in it. Not many songs have a whistle, but I love the songs that have a whistle in it. Yeah, and it's got the
Yeah.
flute as well. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Wow,
Yeah.
I cannot picture him as a guy in corporate running, looking after all the fuel.
No. And, you know, every time you go to Melbourne and you'd catch up with Roy, but even just talking to him on the phone, he's just such a character, but he's just so professional in everything that he's done. And, you know, that film clip just typifies that song. And I think on his Spotify profile, it says he sings songs in the key of joy. And
Oh, yeah, I could tell by that. It was such a look. It looks like his family there. I don't know if it is, but
family, fans, friends,
yeah,
I'd
yeah, it's
imagine.
beautiful.
So,
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's a great song. So that was a simple song called B from Roy Casino. So he's got 34 songs, 35 songs sitting out there on Spotify. So yeah, get onto him. There's some great little pop songs in some of his stuff
cool.
too. So
We've got acoustic. We've got another kind of acoustic-y country one,
yeah,
and now we're going to go full country
okay,
because people listen to the show might know I love. It's my little secret pleasure is country music. I love country music, and this is a fairly new band. Although this album came out in 2017. The band's called Midland, and there's a little bit of controversy about this band. Their first album, they had this massive recording contract, you know, and they kind of marketed themselves as this band that had been playing around for ages and ages in little divey bars, but no one's really sure if they did that. All the guys, like the lead singer is an ex-underwear model, and so there's all these rumors that these guys were just made, you know, like the Monkees, you know, how the Monkees were formed like that. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but all I do know is that this album that they brought out, it's got all the songs are great, the production is unbelievable on it. And the song I've chosen from that is a song that I can relate to. It's called Drinking Problem. And they kind of hark back to the older country, Brooks and Dunn. I think it's a bit of a tip your hat off to those older guys that played and wrote songs about serious problems like a drinking problem, but it had a little bit of a funny twist to it to take the edge off the seriousness of it.
So I had to do a little bit of editing.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a long start.
Because it's a bit of a long start.
I figured that, Curly.
So I have heard a little bit of this song, and
but the harmonies in this, like to me, this is like Eagles, Brooks and Dunn, Dwight Yoakam, definitely this one.
And it's got a little bit of a funny kick to it, isn't it? So let's. So this is Midland with Drinking Problem.
One more night, one more down, one more round. First one in, last one out. Giving this town lots to talk about, but they don't know, People say I got a drinking problem, that ain't no reason to stop. Saying that I've hit rock bottom just 'cause I'm living on the rocks. It's a broken hearted thinking problem, so pour another bottle off the wall. People say I got a drinking problem, but I got no problem drinking it all. They keep on talking
People say I've got a drinking problem. That ain't no reason to stop. People saying that I've hit rock bottom just 'cause I'm living on the rocks. Yes, I'm broken hearted thinking problem. So pulling a bottle off the wall. People say I've got a drinking problem, but I got no problem drinking it all. They keep on talking, draw conclusions. They call it a problem, I call it a solution. Just sitting here in all my grand illusions. They call it a problem, I call it a solution. Just a solution. It's a broken-hearted thinking problem. So pull another bottle off the wall. People say I got a drinking problem, but I've got no problem drinking at all. They keep on talking, draw conclusions. Call it a problem, I call it a solution. Just sitting here in all my grand illusions. They call it a problem, I call it a solution.
You like that one? How beautiful
They
is that?
call it a problem, I call it a solution. What a one of they
People
say I've got a drinking problem, but I've got no problem drinking at all.
That's great. It's a classic.
So when was that? What year?
That's 2015. That was when the album came
Wow.
out. But I heard that it was only a couple of weeks ago. My neighbour, I've met her at the front of the, we were both arriving home at the same time. She said, "Tave, you got to listen to this new band," because she loves country.
Yeah.
She said, "You got to listen to this new band I've been listening to called Midland." And I went straight, and she said, "Listen to Drinking Problem." I went and I put it straight on, and I went,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, she's right. It's fantastic."
Yeah, well, I'll have to check that one out with Browsy, seeing if that's made his country music playlist. But that's a classic. What a great song. That's cool. Hey, we've got a bit of a theme happening here, haven't we? So
We kind
a
of
little
have,
bit more laid back, and then
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is that why maybe that's just how we're feeling this month, mate? It's winter.
It
Maybe-
was interesting because, I was talking about Molly and the Krells earlier, and I've started to expand my repertoire out of just that one song, and fucking hell, they're good.
Yeah.
So he is switched on, that band is tight, and I reckon we need to get Blake Catteris back on just to talk Molly and the Krells.
I agree.
He was a good young kid and deserves to get success. And some of those songs that he's putting out through that band are just awesome. Hey, look, the last one that I've got is a band that I saw first. This is pre-COVID. I probably would have been 2018, maybe 20, and then they played. Where I live in the Redlands, we used to have the Strawberry Festival, right?
Right.
And they've renamed that and rebranded that, and it's Redfest. And most of the time at Redfest, they get some pretty good bands on. I saw, I've seen Mick Thomas, I've seen Jojo Zepp, I've seen, Mentals have played so many times. The Masters Apprentices or the kickoff from that. They just always put on some really good music. And they had this band playing there one time, and it was like a lunchtime gig. So it wasn't part of their music night, but it was like the lunchtime premiere, and it's a band called the Fergies. And
Okay.
yeah, and this band, first I'd heard, they're a Brisbane band, they're a local band. I'd heard a little bit about them. They're described as a bit of a toe-tapping folk rock and blues, and they're all from the one family. So
Okay.
the family name is Ferguson,
Yep.
and there's Daniel, Joel, Carlia, Mark, Nathan, and Shayna, I think, is the last one.
So like the Jacksons.
Yeah, so the Fergies, they're called. And, I've seen them now twice at the Red Fest. They backed up the year after I first saw them. And then they play like markets and they do busking in the city and whatnot. And they're just, I think something's happened within the family group.
Okay.
So they haven't updated their Facebook page, I think, since 2019. And one of their last posts was, we're taking a bit of a hiatus. But I've just heard the two sisters are back doing some gigs at, things like Eat Street markets and whatnot. But the song that I'm going to play, and you get a really good firm understanding of what this band's all about when you see this film clip. And this is the song that really grabbed me when I first saw them. So I popped down. This is one of their last songs on the set, and it's just enormous. And it's a song that's called "Oh Darling." And this is the official film clip from it. So you get to see them busking on the street. You get to see the result from the crowd. I think it's about 2018 this one came out. So still in this new millennium. So here we go. This is the Fergies with "Oh Darling."
What darling? What darling?
Oh, darling.
I love like people can't see it, but I love the Brisbane street scenes and
Yeah.
and well, it's a shame that they're not going still.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him go. And once again, I don't know what's happened, so I probably need to do a little bit of research. But they've got plenty of music out there on Spotify, and it's all pretty. It's just uplifting. It's just, and their stage presence. Like one of the girls, I'm not sure which one it was, has just got this long blonde hair, and to see her on stage just flinging it around,
I can see that.
it's just.
And their voices, I mean, all come from the same family. Their voices just are so tight together.
There's a one of the guys has a baritone, and one of the songs that they do has this really deep baritone in it, and it's a bit confronting when you first hear it because it's let's describe them as like a folky sort of a sound. But then it sort of blends in with the song, and it's just I think it's just incredible what they do. So that's the Fergies. So please check them out.
Okay, well
you've left this song last for a reason.
A good finisher. Too. It's a good finisher, but it's kind of like that last song. If you know what I mean, it's kind of like that. Those the Fergies. It's got that same sort of vibe to it. This is a guy called Nathaniel Ratliff.
Yeah.
And he started as a solo, then he formed this band called the Night Sweats, which I think is a great band. So it's Daniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. And it's I don't know if I'm not really on a theme here, but this is another drinking song. A little bit more serious than the last one.
Yeah.
But still a heap of fun. These guys are from the States. They recorded on the Stax label. Now, I don't know if you know STAX. The Stax label is like Otis Redding recorded on that label, Booker T and the MGs, all that great soul sort of music. So you really hear that in there. And this is a little bit older. This is probably the oldest song we've played. This is from 2015.
Okay.
And my wife loves this band. She loves the guy, Daniel. She said she's going to leave. If he comes, she's leaving me for this guy.
Oh,
he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But he dances great. If everyone's watching it, he's got a great little move to him. And, man,
so the song is called S.O.B.?
Son of a Bitch, it's called, yep.
All right, let's put it on. Our last song for the night.
I'm gonna need someone to help me. I'm gonna need somebody's hand. I'm gonna need someone to hold me down. I'm gonna need someone to care. I'm gonna rise and shake my body. I start pulling on my hair. I'm gonna cover myself with the ashes of you, and nobody's gonna give a damn. Son of a bitch, give me a drink. I'm on that, scamping me. Son of a bitch, I can't get cool. I'm gonna drink my life away. Now for 17 years I've been throwing them back, and 17 more will bury me. Can somebody please just tie me down? Got somebody give me a goddamn drink. Son of a bitch, give me a drink. I'm on that, scamping me. Son of a bitch, I can't get clean. I'm gonna drink my life away.
bugs are crawling all over me. My heart was aching and a shaking. Bugs are crawling all over me. My head was aching and a shaking. Bugs are crawling all over me. My head was aching and a shaking. Bugs are crawling all over me. Son of a bitch, give me a drink. One more night, it's gotta be me. Son of a bitch, I can't get clean. I'm gonna drink my life away.
It's a bit gospel-y, isn't it?
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
oh,
Definitely gospel.
son of a
especially when they
bitch,
do that,
get me a drink. Oh, what a that's outstanding. Outstanding. What a show.
What a great show.
Outstanding music.
3 songs I like that you played and 3 songs that you like that I played. It's great.
It is incredible what you, what people are missing, and we get such a small segment of what's out there in music, and to get minds opened about some of the stuff that you've shared, and hopefully some of the stuff that I've shared, I think is just awesome.
And the good thing, one of the good things about Spotify, there's not a lot, but one of the good things I think about Spotify is that when you find someone like that, you put it on, it will give you a suggestion, of someone else that's like that. And so you can find so much cool stuff. If you to use Spotify as much as I do, it really, the algorithm really works on me.
Yeah. One of the things I found in getting the show to the songs together today is that I was looking at the Fergies, and last night I was going through their Facebook page trying to understand what had happened. Yeah. And then just seeing where people had tagged them. And one of the amazing things they did, right? So they're playing a gig here in Brisbane, and it looks like it's a fairly formal gig at like an Eat Street market. So there's, the street food, and there's people sitting there. And it's from this, it wasn't a Fergie video. It was a video in the perspective of someone in the audience. Right. And now it's such an amazing thing that happened. So this girl's sitting there, and I don't know if all this was scripted, and if it was, well done, because the emotion is just incredible. Yeah. But this girl's sitting there, and they're playing like an extended opening to a song, and she's sitting there with her friends, and she's not sure what the song's going to be, and then they start playing the opening bars to the song, and she's still not sure, and then all of a sudden the girls start singing, and this girl almost breaks down, and she said, "It's my song." Oh. And so the incredible thing was that, and this is where you sort of think, well, maybe it was scripted, I don't know, but and this girl saying it's my song, and she's almost breaking down, and then they've called this girl up on stage, and she was like 15 at the time, and so she's joined in and sung the song and did all that, and then so from that I then said, oh, this is a really cool story. It's really emotional, and I'm sharing it with Sharon, so we're getting the little tear in the eye and all that sort of stuff. And then, but this girl has got now that same song on Spotify, so I'm saying, well, I need to get her on the podcast, and because it's a great little tune. But what a great little story!
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
And if it wasn't scripted, that's amazing that the Fergies did that. So that was cool. So 7 inches. What do you got?
Oh, mate, I've got a cracker
Yeah.
For so many reasons. Now, I think this came out in 66 because we're episode 66, but it might be 67, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember a song called Wild Thing?
Wild Thing by the Trogs.
Yes, so I've got the Trogs, but it's their first single.
Yeah.
And it's called Love Is All Around, which a band called Wet 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 did a cover of in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the Trogs. And I'm just going to read, before I turn it around, I'm just going to read a little bit of the back of this.
Yeah.
It talks about when they recorded it. In the recording studio, some days later, the four troglodytes listened patiently to the song their newfound friend Larry Page had got for them. They liked the sound of Wild Thing, and soon afterwards they were in the studio, and to cheer them on came Mick Jagger, Bob Lind and Jack Michke. They emerged from the studio with the most fantastic record since pop began. Shortening their name to the Trogs, they were taken to a tailor's and a barber's who helped to convert them into a good-looking pop group. Now, one other cool thing about this, because that's the front, and I'm just going to explain it to the people. On the back, there's a sticker from where this was purchased, and it says up the top there, Woolworths, $1.55. So as a Coles man, did you have any records in Coles, Tony? $1.55 from Woolies. So that's the thing I love about collecting vinyl, those little things like that tag.
Yeah, just adds history to it, doesn't it? Add a history to it. Hey, look, I've got a little bit of a special one today. So, because I'm thinking there's almost, and once I've gone through this one, you'll hopefully understand where I'm coming from. So, I actually don't know if I've shared this one before. So, this is a band called the Headstones.
No.
And I believe that they're a Brisbane band, but this was done in Sydney. So, the song is called When You're Down, and the B-side is called All the Things You Do. So, once again, from 1986. And I discovered that they're actually on... Do you remember Sunday Morning Jukebox?
No.
You don't?
Was it TV or was that radio?
It was TV. So...
Here we go live again with the Headstones on Saturday Jukebox.
I don't remember that at all. Was that on, obviously, Saturday mornings?
I think it was a Channel 10 show. I think it followed on. You would have remembered...
Townsville only had ABC and Channel 7.
Yeah, you would have remembered Donny Sutherland and Sounds.
Yes, I remember that.
That was the one that followed on from that. So, but I reckon what we could do one show is just choose awkward film clips of bands on either Countdown or Hey Hey It's Saturday.
There's 1,000 of those. You know why I didn't see that song? Because I would have been up late watching Rage.
Yeah.
And didn't get up early.
We used to watch Rage once we got back from the nightclubs.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, once I got back from the gig, I discovered so many cool bands at 2 in the morning.
Yeah. And still the way to go. So, Braggy, great show. I've really enjoyed tonight.
That was fun.
It's been educational, informative, and hopefully entertaining. Next week, we've got Clara Durbidge from North Stradbroke Island, or Minjerribah, as we call it in the traditional language.
Oh, cool.
And
I'm going to be up that way.
Yeah, so you'll be in Queensland. So we'll all be in Queensland. So Clara is a bit nervous about the internet over there. So
I'm nervous about the internet at Agnes.
At Agnes. So hopefully it'll all go well. So got a couple of other shows. Of course, we got Rossi coming up with their 7 songs that shaped Sydney.
Tune in for that. That's going to
really
be great.
looking forward to that. And I won't announce it, but we are in negotiations currently with another band who are remarkably similar to The Church.
Okay.
So back in the day, so I'll let
Paisley Shirts.
Paisley Shirts. Got a couple of songs. They signed a major record label, and unfortunately, you know, sometimes the world just conspires to consign music to the not so great sort of era. So, but this band was awesome. So fingers crossed that one comes through for us. So,
Cool.
Don't forget, we're on YouTube. You can see our videos there. Make sure you subscribe. I don't know what else. Did we reach the 200? I don't know. I didn't check.
I think we're 199 or 198.
Okay.
Please, can just 2 people just subscribe to us on...
Yeah, just subscribe to us. Get us over that 200. Of course, we're on our Facebook, Unfiltered Undiscovered. We're on TikTok as Unfiltered Undiscovered. Our website's unfilteredandundiscovered.com. We've got all the music, and we'll put the music from tonight into our Unfiltered and Undiscovered playlist, which you'll find on Spotify. And the lyrics that will close the show tonight is from a Central Coast band that we featured recently, a band called Anakai.
Yes.
And it's one of their great little lines in their song. It's called, "I found your love in one big hug in the middle of losing my mind." And you know, there's just so many good, great lyrics out there.
That is a great
I
lyric.
just love that particular line. So thanks, Braggy, once again.
Thanks,
as
Curly.
always, great show. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And we will see you all again next week.
Go Queensland next Wednesday night.
Go Queensland.
Conquista tutto. L'amore conquista